They picked you as a new head basketball coach here at Houma Christian. So how exciting is it for you to continue in that, position? I know your dad has held that position for a long time, and one Frye leaves, another Frye steps in.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's definitely going to be a new challenge, moving kind of from playing on the court to kind of sitting on the sidelines. I think that's the word that keeps coming to mind. Is going to be a challenge. Usually guys that get into a coaching role has either been mentored by a coach for a long time, but my dad being a coach mentored me as a player. So, the things that go into being a coach we really haven't talked about too much. So, a lot within the past couple of weeks, I've been calling him to kind of get some advice on, what teams to play, which should my strategy be with the guys coming up. So it's a lot of new things that I'm gonna have to learn, but I'm all one for challenges. Even when I was here playing, I really didn't have the guys that I wanted to play with, or I didn't necessarily get to go to school that I wanted to go to. So it was a challenge, but ever since then, I love stepping up to challenges. I love trying to figure out different situations. I like to work with what I got. I think my philosophy moving forward, and I think that's one of the things you want to ask me was. My philosophy is probably going to be kind of increase the guy's IQ a little bit more. Being an undersized guy myself, that was one of the biggest things I had to do was increase my IQ. So kind of characteristic of my team, I want to be high IQ guys, very physical, determined, never getting down when they're down or whatever. I want all my guys to be great shooters from the perimeter, especially like I said, our size, we don't have too much size, so I want all my guys to be able to shoot. I want to be able to run. We're probably going to be the best conditioned team. Being my major that I had in college, which was human performance and health promotion, which is HPHP from the University of New Orleans, there's a lot of drills and workouts that I know that I implement. Even with the football team now, I'm also helping coach the football team that I implement with them. So my guys are going to be very explosive. And like I said, we're not probably going to be the most athletic, but we're going to be able to run. We're going to be able to shoot. And we're going to be high IQ guys. We're going to be physical. And that's all I can ask for from my guys. So.
What kind of team you think, how many players you got coming back, from last year? They still made the playoffs, and I think they won a playoff game or two. So they have some experience,
Right.
Even though they're young, but they've been through the grind before. They know what to expect from the
Yeah. No, we got, our leadership is looking pretty good. We got Wes coming back, which was one of our top scorers. We also got some guys coming back who I was working with over the summer in Connor Smith, Tyron Jones, Cameron Ringo. So I'm very familiar with those guys. Even when I was down not playing, my dad kind of had me work with those guys on the side. So that was also a good thing as well. I kind of know their deficiencies, know their strengths and their weaknesses and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm working with a blank slate. I think I'm in a really good position to be able to be successful with these guys. I think I'm more ahead of the game than if a new coach came in, knowing nothing about these kids. But I've been knowing these kids since they were in junior high school. I've watched them multiple times. There was also some things that even when they were growing up that I wanted to kind of instruct them on, but I couldn't because that wasn't my place. I wasn't the coach. I wasn't my dad. I was the junior high coach. But now I can kind of go in and tweak what I need to tweak based on what I've learned, and kind of just help them moving forward.
Good deal, good deal. And I know you're still a young guy. How old are you now? 25?
24.
24, 24?
Yes, sir.
And I know you still have ambitions of your own to play professional basketball. So I know a lot can change between now and the season starts. So are you still hoping to continue your own career? And if that happens, obviously, when it does happen, it's something you probably work with when it does, as far as now being a coach here. But what's your goals with that aspect? If you still working, I know you played this summer with New Orleans, and what's your goals with that one?
Yeah, so to answer your question, I don't have any team on my radar right now. Last year, whenever you're coming out of college, you can kind of your first year in the pros can kind of be like a setup year for your years coming up. And I had a really good year in Uruguay, and that was kind of like my setup year. Now, moving forward, like second, third, fourth year, you don't want those to be setup years because then it's like your talent starts to get stagnant, the contracts start to get a little stagnant. But right now, I'm not really pressed, so to speak, for a contract. I'm still working, probably harder than I've worked before. I'm working with Patrick Labatt over at TGMC. He also trains Elijah McGuire, Gibby Talbot. He's also going to Uruguay too, which is the league I just left from, a very physical league. He's going to find that out soon. But my whole mindset toward that is it's going to have to be a really good contract. Houma Christian is going to be set up nice over here. They're taking care of me, so no more kind of set up teams, set up years or whatever. If I do end up having to leave, it's going to probably be like a G League situation or NBA situation. My agent is trying to get in contact with some teams right now. We had an instance, we were really close again with the Milwaukee Bucks, but their whole thing with me was when I was in Uruguay, I was a primary scorer, but in the NBA, I would be a primary one, and they didn't have enough film of me being a point guard, which is what I played all in college anyway, so they want that, that updated film, so to speak, of me playing a one. So that was the closest thing I've had to the NBA so far as with the Milwaukee Bucks. But he's still going to be reaching out to some teams on my behalf while I'm still here. So like I said, I'm not pressed with any teams. If anything, this makes me more rounded as a player. If anything, I can kind of see, I'll see the game from two different angles now, from a player and from a coach. So now when I get back on the court, I'll be kind of the floor general, the coach on the floor, know what my coaching expects because I'm here now. Now the level of play is going to be different, obviously, but in terms of strategy, knowing times and stuff like that, looking at the clock, knowing situations and everything, I will have had that experience working here at Houma Christian. So I firmly believe that everything works out for your good, no matter where you end up. God has a plan for me, for Houma Christian. If it's God's will for me to be in the lives of these athletes right now, I'm all for it. I have no complaints. Like I said, I'm working with some great people, and Coach Chuck. I love Mr. Jimmy. I love the kids that I'm working. I'm actually teaching elementary right now, so I'm working with a lot of kids. So I'm actually learning patience right now too, working with those kids. I mean, it's a great situation, and like I said, I'm not pressed to go anywhere right now.